Mr. President, thank you for being here tonight.
Thank you for inviting me.
You can put on a very unique, have a very unique perspective on this. What kind of parallels can you draw between what's going on between Ukraine and Russia now, and what happened between Georgia and Russia back in 2008?
Well, I wonder whether you remember the movie Groundhog's Day with Bill Murray.
Yes.
It's somebody reliving the same day all over and over again until he gets it right. And in this case, that's Vladimir Putin, because he keeps going through the same scenario. And the scenario seems to be very simple, very brutal, having Trojan horse. In the case of Georgia, he had Russian peacekeepers stationed there long before the large-scale invasion. So at a certain moment, this Russian peacekeepers, so-called, came under attack, which later turned out to be, again, from another way, like Stalin came in with this excuse. So now he doesn't have peacekeepers in Ukraine, but he desperately needs some excuse. So he was provoking Ukrainians to shoot back at their territory. Most of the times, Ukrainians were exercising the remarkable self-restraint. So Russia was shelling, and Ukrainian troops were responding ordered not to respond, despite the fact that they were complaining because they were having heavy human casualties, and it's very unnatural not to fire back. But anyway, so Ukraine managed to avoid this provocation, but now he comes up with this humanitarian convoy, and once it gets in, then he will look for some kind of pretext that it gets attacked or something goes wrong, and then
some excuse
he might be coming in. Yeah.
So he's not playing games. You think he fully intends to invade?
Look, Putin is in lose-lose situation, because he faces humiliated defeat from Ukrainian government sources, because the way how he outsourced this to these local militias, even when it was reinforced by Russian special troops, but still majority are local militias stationed there with all the heavy weaponry, it's not working well, because Ukrainians are advancing, Ukrainian morale is lifting, and so either he has to live with the fact that he will have major strategic defeat and allow Ukraine to move on, or he has to move. Look, it's not about policy stance of Ukraine. It's about way of life of Ukrainians. If Ukrainians really manage to get rid of kleptocratic old practices, if they really build some kind of modern, decent society, which now, obviously, at least nation of Ukraine and its government wants to do, the reality would be then Putin will face severe questions inside Russia, because Russia is not doing well. The only thing he's claimed, but look around, there is chaos, all the others are doing just as bad, so there is no good solution. Putin looks decent, at least.
Yeah.
Can you imagine what kind of nightmare Putin will be facing? So from his standpoint, there is no way. He will talk about peace. I heard so on your coverage that
yesterday he was giving a much softer.
First of all, look from where? From an ex-Crimea. It can be got even more cynical than that. I mean, he just grabbed it, and he's talking from peace from there.
What's he like to deal with?
Well, I met him dozens of times, and this is kind of guy who doesn't really believe in that kind of warm and cordial relations based on trust and on respect or liking each other.
Yes.
He basically likes to be feared. And last time I met him, it was very indicative. He told me, look, your Western friends are promising you lots of nice things, but remember, they almost never deliver. I promise you lots of bad things, but I always deliver. And that's his thing, that he likes to be feared.
Intimidation.
Intimidation, and he used it even with big Western powers, and certainly he's using it with all his neighbors. And so that's what he's projecting Ukraine. And the problem with Ukraine is he has now that Ukrainians are not only they're fighting back, but they seem not to be scared. You know, Ukrainians have this soccer football song, very rude on Putin, that they keep singing at every football match. They have, there is mass movement in Ukraine with all these cartoons of Putin. I just was in Ukraine. They gave me this survival bracelet. Small Ukrainian kids are sitting down and selling it for the army. I got it there from them. And they're not to fear Putin. And the 40 strong nation doesn't fear Putin anymore. Then why would Russians fear him at all?
Right.
So that's the main promise on what he's built might collapse, and that's why I think we are really approaching a very decisive moment now.
We're already out of time. Mikheil Saakashvili, former president of Georgia, thank you so much for being here
tonight. Thank you for inviting me.
We appreciate it.